Dave Chappelle's Strategy from The Art of War by Sun Tzu. Sun Tzu wrote the most prestigious book of strategy ever written to this day. Most civilians would not travel in the cold to catch the enemy off guard or kill instead of being killed. That is why Master Sun Tzu says that if you use civilian methods to run a military operation, it will become confused. So Dave Chappelle has to be less civilized than his opponents, which are really other comedians. Sun Tzu says this is done to make war swift and less resources used. This is better and will make you victorious. Aristotle said that a comedy is a representation of a character that is worse than the average person, unlike a tragedy. Not just worse than the average person, but worse than the average comedian he has to be, his opponents. The Art of War by Sun Tzu says, if the laws of war indicate that victory is certain, it is surely time to do battle, even if the civilian leadership says there is to be no battle. For Dave Chappelle, this means not following the orders of the politically correct. He must make himself worse than average. Netflix announced that his show was the most watched program they've ever had. As a matter of fact, all forms of entertainment follow this rule and always have. Music throughout history has succeeded, or people have been crushed by this principle. Chapter 5, The Force of Momentum. This applies to all companies. It is not civilized to utilize being first and applying the raw application of force to resist any competition. Michael Jordan was not civilized for jumping higher and further than any other basketball player ever had in history. Elvis was not being civilized by moving his pelvis and breaking the rules of society, but that's what propelled him far. Yet when music artists rebel, it is often met with criticism by the older and mature, probably to protect their kids. Yet it's okay in Hollywood for actors to be sexual because movies are rated and parents can decide for their kids. And now comedy is being criticized harshly, even though the same principle applies. You cannot be civil in war. If a comedian is so blue and so dark and grimy that you cannot stomach, then do not watch that comedian. David Chappelle's strategy is nothing new, and it comes from the art of war well over 2,000 years ago. You cannot use civilian methods to run a military operation, or the operation will become confused. Anyone breaking the normal rules is not using civilian methods. Apple with the first touch screen, all glass. When you are first, you have the ground of contention, the most important ground you get to. You're not by any other way than being Colonel Sanders bent the rules by deep frying his chicken before anyone else and mainstreamed it to the public. The first soda ever created is the best thing for cleaning car batteries and not civilized for people to drink it or any other soda. Dave's comedy is the least of worries compared to all that we could be worried about in this world. We have the trade war with China, which affects our economy and the quality of living for middle and lower class Americans. The collapse of the economy in the U.S. and world markets is quite possibly already in motion. You bend the rules by being deceptive to your fiancée by not telling her you're going to propose. When we work overtime or start a business to get ahead at the expense of our health or relationships with the ones we love, this is no different. It's reality, it's not possible to live your life without this principle. No one is that perfectly balanced. A doctor prescribing a new medicine is also using this principle. If you have a gun at home, you are not using civilian methods. Don't fight. To run a military operation, saving your family. If you sell cigarettes, you're using this principle. And if you smoke cigarettes, it still applies. I'm Austin Christian with The Art of War Made Easy. Let Dave Chappelle be.